Hello friends, how are you today? I'm so happy to be here, and it's wonderful to be talking with you today about the Schumann resonance and human energy. I have had my own human energy affected by these incredible energies and the events that they have brought for me personally. I'll tell you more about that as we go on. But I wanted to let you know something. With the new year now, I'm going to be expanding my what I do. I'm going to be expanding from a business perspective, and what I will be doing is I will start offering the opportunity to work with me on an ongoing basis. I have three things I'm going to offer, three ways of working with me, and I'll talk more about this in another video. But I'm going to offer the opportunity to work with me from an energy perspective, from an astrology perspective, from a creator perspective, people who are doing that, looking for guidance. And then I will be offering new courses. So it's really exciting. There'll be one-on-one opportunities, and I'm going to further the coursework that I'm doing. Right now we are in the back part of the first Human Energy Systems course that I am giving. We have a great group working together, and it's been really delightful. It's really been wonderful, a blessing. And so I'm going to offer the beginning course again, and then I'm going to offer part 2 to the current course. So we'll go to the next level. And in terms of the one-on-one opportunities, I'm going to open up a few hours in my schedule, and you can choose from Astro Flow to work with me, where we'll focus on the unfolding of your astrology chart and current transits, key points in your life or current life, key choices you might be making, and look at the energies there. I always do use an intuitive perspective as well when I do that, but we focus on the chart, and it's so beautiful and fun to unfold this when I'm working with someone with you. The other one will be called Mentor Creator. And so if you have something you've been wanting to create from the spiritual side, from the content creation side, and you're looking for tools, techniques, inspiration, support, I'll be offering that as well. And the last one will be called Energy Boost. And in that opportunity, we'll just work together, reading your energy field, working with your guides of the highest light, and of course my guides of the highest light. I also always bring in Archangel Michael for these sessions, and we look at what's up for you and how it unfolds in your energy field, the points at which there are resonance or dissonance, how to clear energy in the field or heal from past experiences. It's really an amazing and wonderful process, and it's always a joy for me to work with people. So I've decided to unfold that in a much greater, to a much greater extent. So I'm going to open about 8 hours a week now, so there's an opportunity to get one of those slots. If you would like to work with me on one of these 3, I'll talk more about it in another video, but you can send me an email, and I'll put the contact page link below, and then I will be adding a blog post on it in the coming days. Okay, so Happy New Year. It's so good to be here with you guys, and I just I put a little note on YouTube and somewhere else. Where was that? About what was going on for me. And, there were these shocking events that I had mentioned in past videos that occurred. And then I got shingles and a tick bite. I mean, it was just, I have to laugh now. I mean, it's just like the icing on the cake. It's really interesting, but in 3 months, so since January 1st, I've had shocking events in like every part of my life. So basically, I had a close friend almost die. I had another close friend go into emergency surgery. I had a shocking event at my home, a couple shocking events in the family, extended family. Let's see, shocking event out in the community. It was just really something. I mean, and here's the blessing of this, okay? And the reason that I wanted to put up the timeline here, because I completely tie it to my experience of these energies and the Schumann and in general that are going on, the dynamic going on. And so I can use it as an example for you guys. But, we had this stunning display of energy on March 6th to 7th. I mean, this is something unlike anything I've ever seen on the Schumann before. And I mean, even I thought the gates of heaven were amazing when the whole planet rang like a bell, but this was phenomenal. And to me, it was like a herald, okay? And the herald spiritually is Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel in the Bible is the angel who came and told Mary that she was that she was pregnant with the Christ child, and that she would be having that baby and essentially facilitating the Christ light through Jesus Christ coming to earth, okay? So Gabriel is the herald, and that's why Gabriel is usually shown with a trumpet, da-da-da, announcing God's word, like making an announcement from the divine, directly from the creator of all that is. Like, this is it, okay? And so a stunning display like this. Now, let me just make it a little bigger here so you can see the energies. It's so funny because I was on, I've joined Truth Social, so if you're on there, definitely follow me at susaninspired, and I'll follow you back. But I saw that someone had used this for their profile image, which is the art that I created from the Schumann, so I thought that was pretty cool. In fact, I've seen 2 pieces of art that I've created that people are using for the profiles there, and a couple other pieces that I didn't create myself, but I have put out. So I just thought that was a great sign. Like, I love that. So, yeah, whoever you are, say hi. Say hi on there. So let's see here, because I lost track of which user that was. Now I have to go through thousands of people to find them again. But you know what? All in divine timing, right? It's just going to appear one day. I'm going to see. I think it was a woman. I'm going to see her display again. So anyway, so this was it. This was the stunning display. And to me, this was a huge announcement from divinity. Like, how I view the Schumann resonance is it's a reflection of human consciousness. My dog has to always put in his 2 cents. It actually really delights me, and it's funny. But oh God, it feels, and I got to tell you, it feels so good to be back here talking to you about these concepts. Now that I'm back on, the energy is just flowing, and I'm in so much gratitude about that. Ooh, and looking at these energies. But what this said to me is that, so what I see it as is a reflection of human consciousness. And the more that we're turned on and connected with our own soul, which in my view is the spark of God, the flame, the light of the Creator, the Most High, the Creator of the universe, the source of all that is. This is my definition of God, okay? Because it's important to define what energies we are talking about. It's important when we use language to speak clearly so that we understand what we are creating and what we are offering as an engagement. So I am offering to share my point of view, but I want to be really clear about what I'm talking about and what the energy frequency is, okay? Because not everybody defined God's the same way, which was shocking to me when I found that out, but it's becoming more and more common knowledge. Okay, so from this level of divine source, okay, we have the ability to connect with this, in my view, because we embody this. In my view, this is our life force, okay? The source of all that is, the creator of the universe. We are children of the creator. And so our human bodies become a platform, okay, for this light, for creation, for divinity, for the soul to have an experience in this human life. And here's the one thing that has come to me very, 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 very clearly over these extremely shocking and challenging events that I've mentioned from the past 3 months. I've really, it challenged me to grow closer, right, to this light that I am within me, for what that is for me, to my own soul. And what I want to share what I received. I mean, it's so amazing, but what so clearly came through to me. And the divine doesn't really communicate with words so much. That's a human communication. Words, thoughts, is an expanded level of communication, and I call this fifth dimensional and higher energies. Excuse me. But here's what came through so clearly, okay, was that I am important, like just as a human being. I'm not saying relative to anyone else or me because of my name or whatever. I'm saying that the Creator views each of us this way. You are in a living body in human form, okay? And your life as a human, who you are as a human being is important. You are important, especially if you can embody this divinity. You become it becomes amazing. You start to have these amazing experiences on earth, and experiences of coincidences, experiences of miracles. And this is, my dear friend Andrea says, honey, that's me adding the honey, but this is the real world. That's what she always says to me, and I believe it's so. This is the real world. Okay, the real world is like this. It's full of amazement, miracles. Did you just hear the horns? I hope that you can hear that in the video. It was all these horns, just like Archangel Gabriel's horn. Oh gosh, I really hope that came out in the recording. Okay, no, it was in the real world too. I mean, it's not the real world. It was in the physical world. Oh goodness. Oh, it was so beautiful, and it was multi-tone. Okay, I'm going to go back to talking here. So what I'm saying is that our willingness to align with the light that we are. And, here's some other ways of saying that. There's a lot of Christians that say, what would Jesus do in this situation, okay? That's when you ask that of yourself, okay? Then you are making a conscious choice to align with the energy of the Most High, Jesus Christ, right? The Christ is the God-like, the God particle, right? The source, right, of who he was and fully embodied, right? The Most High, the creator of the universe. Okay, so another way to do this is to make a conscious choice to align with divine will through you. Okay, so I choose to align with divine will. Now, here's how people have talked about this over the years, and I find this annoying. They say, oh, submit your will to God. Well, how does that sound? Okay, that sounds like an overlord and a slave, all right? And in my view, that's making God out to be one of the other definitions of God. because I make a conscious choice to align my will. And could you call that submission? There's a connotation that goes with submission, and maybe that connotation wasn't there before, but you have to understand, right, that and this is my view, God doesn't want us all bowing down and averting our eyes and thinking we are less than God, okay? God wants us to lift our eyes up, look upon, to the extent we can, right? Because it's said that the throne of the Creator is surrounded by angels, the seraphim, the cherubim, etc., right? And they're surrounding him, singing, "Holy, holy, holy," and praising God, okay? Praising the Creator of the universe. And so, but what happens is that the divine adjusts itself so that we can perceive it in this reality, right? Because so I don't want to get too much off of, I want to stay on the Schumann here, but I want to explain this light. And the reason why it's important for me to explain this is because it is the key force for the beginning of this new year, okay? This stunning display is and was the key energetic, okay, announcing the beginning of this new natural year, okay, at Easter, at the solstice, at the new moon after the solstice. This is the new year. This is the natural new year, right? When Christ ascends and goes into his light body, he starts a new life, okay? This is Easter, right? This is when the chicks come out of their eggs, when the trees start, the buds start growing on things, on flowers, on trees, etc. This is when the new life begins. So what I'm saying is that when we choose a conscious connection, here's another way of embodying that energy and intending to do it. I choose to embody the energy of my own soul, okay? I choose to fulfill my soul purpose, to live my soul purpose. I choose to walk my soul path. And what the message was from my own soul was that you're important, your life is important, and I want you to enjoy your life. I want you to enjoy being a human being. You're not just a tool here for divinity. I want you to live a happy life. I want you to live a fulfilled life. I want you to have the fulfillment that you deserve and wish to have as a living human being, incarnate with a living soul. Because my soul, do I have a mission here of like talking about energy and all that sort of thing? Yes, I do. But what my soul says is, you're not important to me just because you have the ability to talk about energy. You're not important to me just because you have talents or a tool set that can be used in the service of the divine. You're important to me because you're my child and I want you to enjoy your life. That's what the Creator says to me. And this is what has come to me as the fruit of these shocking events. And how could that happen? How could you have shocking events and then come to like, oh, I should enjoy my life? You could say, well, why did they happen in the first place? It wasn't enjoyable, right? But it woke me up out of where I was deeply stuck. So, even if you've been doing the work, right? Even if you've been doing spiritual work, even if you've been connecting with, doing with the divine, as you would describe that in your own words, there's always layers. And so the blessing for me of these events, and what happens, the light comes in and it shakes us up. But we also, through our willingness, right, to align with divinity, create a landing ground and a platform for this on earth through us as living human beings. Okay? So what I'm saying is there are enough of us who are awake and aware and conscious, but not just that are embodying divinity itself, that are aligning with divine will to the extent possible that this could be created. okay, that the creator, that the creator of the universe, that God the Most High, that your own soul could bring this light through to earth, through the living human beings on the ground here. And so this is a huge sign. This is why this was so important, okay? Because it's not just this rescue savior energy, okay? You have to understand our role in it, and you don't have to do anything, but I'm asking you to acknowledge, to think about what our role is, okay? It's not about someone coming here to save us. It's about us stepping forward and saying, I will take that step forward. I will embody the light that I am. I will follow my divine guidance. I will act in the world. I will put my faith into action, okay? And so this is the inspiration for the new year that I have received through this incredible, set of experiences that was not easy, but deeply gratifying, as I'm, I'm just deeply, grateful to have this experience. And I'm willing to participate. I understand that these shocks that can occur, right? They crack us up like the Japanese bowls that are broken, and they reseal it with beautiful pure gold, right? It's that gold, right? It's that gold that represents the divinity in action, breaking the bowl, and then the human being putting it back together. And it's the divine perfection that allows the bowl to come back together, that recreates the pieces, right, of who we are in greater perfection and closer ability to live what we are as living souls embodied in living human bodies. As a living human being, I can do this. We can do this. And this stunning display was it was an announcement that we've got this. It was an announcement that we are able to embody this kind of light. It was an announcement from the creator of the universe. I from God the Most High, I've got you, right? That's what Archangel Michael always says. I always hear him say this, I've got you, I've got your back. Right, I'm here with you. We're going through this together, and God wins. We will win. Your soul will be victorious. All right? Wow, that was a lot. Okay, now let's go into the new year. Okay, so the moon dates are in Pacific time. The Schumann dates are in Tomsk time. It's slightly off, but I tried to make it as close as possible, apples to apples. Okay, so it's generally apples to apples here for time. So we had the new moon on March 2nd. This was the last month of the old year, okay, on a natural basis. We had the stunning display right after the new moon, the full moon on the 18th, and then right after that, the equinox. Now, what I've done here is I've put the different waves of energy at the top because I want you to see what happened. So at April 1st, we had the new year, and that came with the new moon. Now, for me, it was March 31st on the Pacific coast. I think it was 11:24 p.m., but for pretty much everyone else, it was April 1st. Then we have the Neptune-Jupiter conjunction exact. Now, it started on April 8th. April 8th is the day that Jupiter moved to 23 degrees where Neptune is. And this is also the day that I've started my new business, April 8th. So on April 12th, they will be at the exact degree, conjunct exactly. Okay. And it's generally April 12th. It might be the 13th for some people, but in the United States, it's April 12th, and for probably most of Europe. I'll probably talk about that more during the week because that's on Tuesday. All right. Then after that, you have Easter, which is exactly at the full moon on April 17th. After that, you have Orthodox Christian Easter. And then the new moon on May 1st. Now we're deep. Now we're fully into the new year here. Okay, here we've got the new year. Here this whole time is a transition. Okay, from the old energy to the new energy. Now, what has been happening during this time? All right, so first you had the stunning display. Then immediately after that, on March 8th and 9th, you had these energetics. And what this did, in my view, is it helped ground the energy. You see repeated spiking. This was to 40 hertz. Okay, you have this huge clearing in the low hertz, which is our delta, theta, alpha brain waves. Okay, and then based on the individual, that unfolds to alpha, beta, and gamma brainwaves, depending on, you as a person, your soul path, and all that stuff. Okay, but this energy was so stunning. And just to repeat, this is a reverse chart and a mirrored image. Okay, so is this half, okay, is what was actually on the chart, and this is upside down from how the graph is normally printed. Okay, but then what happened is there was a period of just a complete break here. So that was, how many days was that? That was about 18 days. Okay, so 2.5 weeks, not quite 3 weeks. All right, but it was, let's see here, yeah, it was 3 weeks from the stunning display, because that was on March 6th to 7th. Yeah, so 21 days about. Okay, so I did a video on this already, so I'm not going to go talk about it too much. But what I want to say is that you see how the energies here are very, very spiky. And this has been, for me, it's been extremely challenging. The energies have just really kind of poked into the energy field, and they have created shocking events. They've created surprises. They've created getting in touch with emotions that were, that maybe you didn't know you have, thoughts you maybe didn't know you had. And it's been very challenging. Now, at the same time that we've been having this repeated spiky energy, and even the gateway here, look at April 2nd, we had a gateway here. This is the key element on the chart that day. Let me put it in the middle. Okay, right there. There's your gateway for the new year, right there. Okay, and I'm not going to go into this too much, but the gateway in these lower hertz here, so zeros up here in the 40s down here. So in these lower hertz here, it requires a kind of a clarity and a willingness to go through the gateway. So that just is about setting intentions, making a declaration, making a personal choice within, and really meaning it. That's the thing, really meaning it and having integrity about the fact that you mean it. I choose this for myself now, whatever that happens to be. And then we had this very spiky energy in the low hertz, and then again, very spiky here in the high hertz. In fact, this almost looked like an extended gate of heaven with the lower hertz just completely filled out, and then spiking with the gate tops that usually come with that image, spiking really high, really in the mid to high beta here. And I thought that was really something. Because you don't normally see this. It's more unusual, especially with the Gate of Heaven image. So that gives us the opportunity, in my view, to have great insights in our deeply, integrated and complex thinking. Like, we're really nailing stuff here, okay? And then we're tying it in with the spiritual. But this was very uncomfortable, in my view. Like, for me, it was very uncomfortable here. And I want to say what came along with this. Many of you are aware of this, but and I did not check the data today, but as of yesterday, we have had 26 M-class flares since January 1st and 1 X-class flare. So how I view it, because I view the human, the earth, the sun as a system, okay? So it's like repeated poking into the human energy field. And not only that, but the poking was like oh my goodness, M class is a very strong energy, and X is just incredible. And the X class flare came right at the new year. I believe it was on April 1st. Now, just to give you an example of, that this is a lot of intense energy. In 2021, there were 29 M-class flares, okay? There are 26 just in the last 3 months, okay, after 29 for the whole year last year. And there were 2 X-class flares for the whole year last year. But, now this is what's interesting. In October through December of 2021, that's when 18 of those flares happened. So they were really back and loaded in the calendar year of 2021. So therefore, since October, okay, we have had 44 M-class flares. October, November, December, January, February, March. That's in 6 months, okay, 44 flares, announcing the new year, okay? And we have 44 flares. We had the stunning display. You know that we've had some geomagnetics in the atmosphere, but the real story has been the solar flares, in my view. And I just want to give you an example of how incredible it is to have 44 flares in this 6-month period from October 2021 through the end of March. Well, actually, I'm including April 1st there. In 2020, there were 2 M-class flares. In 2019, there were 0. In 2018, there were 0. Okay, so it hasn't been since 2017 that we've been this active. And in fact, in 2017, we had 39 M-class flares and 4 X-class flares. So that was the last time that, the last year where we've had this much solar activity. So it's been really, really something. And I think that combined with the entry into the new year, combined with this incredible Schumann energy, but then also combined with the Neptune-Jupiter conjunction, you have something really incredible here. There's a bunch of people shouting outside my window, which I've left open so you could hear the breezes, because the wind is just blowing today. Maybe they're excited about the new year and all the spiky energy. So I do think that this is part of the creation process for us. I feel that the solar flares essentially poke into the human energy field and invite us to go deeper. Okay, it's like they poke in to where the energy that we need shooken up within us so that we can wake up further or expand our consciousness or have whatever experience it is that we're supposed to have. The Neptune-Jupiter conjunction is pretty phenomenal, and it goes so perfectly with this stunning display energy. I have really deeply experienced this in the last couple of weeks and been musing on it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be alive while this is happening, and wherever it is in your astrology sign, in your astrology chart, it's happening in Pisces. So wherever that is in your chart, it affects that area of your life the most, but it affects our entire society. To give you an example, and it's Leo King that I got this data from, the last Neptune-Jupiter conjunction in Pisces was in 1856. So, at any rate, I'm not going to go too much into the astrology right now, but the opportunity here is for stunning insights, extraordinary expansion. But what one has to watch out for is the pull to disillusion, the pull, quote, off the path. And what I really mean by that, it's not linear. It's the invitation in sneaky and surprising ways to turn away from the soul that you are and continue to have adventures in the lower dimensions, okay? So this is real. And it's something I talk about a lot in my human energy class, that these non-physical aspects and elements are real, and they have a real impact in the physical world. And so to be aware that this is the case, it requires a devotion, it requires a intention, it requires a inner commitment that this is what I'm going to stay focused on. This is where I'm at. This is what I am choosing. And I'm talking from an energetic and spiritual basis here. The reason that this is so important, and, Cliff High keeps talking about sci-fi world and how it's coming. And I do believe that. I have had visions of it. Okay. I have had visions of human beings in a positive way, okay, engaged in like the world of like a Star Trek type experience, for where people are actively engaged, like we're traveling, with advanced technology is real. Okay, I've had visions of it, and the thing is, though, and it's my view very strongly that to truly achieve this in a way that is, well, in the way that I choose to do it, it requires there's a way of doing this that requires the ability to stay connected with the soul that you are. Because the invitation by these energies can be sneaky. The invitation can be compelling. The invitation can be magnetic. The invitation can be drug-induced. It's just, there's an extraordinary a range of choices, okay? It can be ideologue oriented. And so as you move into the new year, okay, regardless of what your visions are about the future, your thoughts of the future, but what I have to say is that the divine is telling us that the future is going to be extraordinary, that God wins, that the light will manifest on this planet, that the divine has our back, that Archangel Michael is here until all are redeemed and beyond, maybe, because once we're all redeemed, aren't we gonna have a good time living life? As you enter the new year, that's right now. We're in the swirl of mechs of separating the old year is like moving on. The new year is coming into fruition. And keep these thoughts in mind. And from a spiritual and energetic perspective, to me, there is no difference. If you wish to understand energy, it requires a commitment to the soul that I am. Okay? And I understand that there are people who will not look at it that way, and that's okay. All right? They're having a different experience, and that's a valid experience as well. But what I'm talking to is those of us who choose to manifest the soul light that you are, and to bring that into the human body, and to learn about your human energy field, and to learn how to manipulate energy, right, to spring forth the energy and work with the energy of your own soul to create, to learn creation in this way. We can change our lives when we do so, when we make these fine adjustments, and when we allow ourselves to change in alignment with our highest good and divine will through us. Happy New Year.